All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. Back this week with a new episode. And as we mentioned last week, this week we're going to talk about foods. And I think we ended off last week's episode talking about comfort foods in particular. But I want to put a little bit of spin on it, right? So I know that I love when my wife makes for me lasagna. And it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. If I have a rough day and I come home and, she bakes it in this particular dish and it has all the cheese and the ooey gooey and the sauce and, I just feel at home. I feel the love, right? And when we watch TV, for those of you who may watch TV or even on social media and commercials and such, there's always the promotion of comfort foods, right? Turn to the Food Network and this diners and dives, or whatever it's called, different restaurants and sweets and, and barbecue pits and, you name it, commercials full of fast food and how can you get these things and, anything to make you feel good in the moment and, that's it. But if this podcast is about, with this podcast being about motivation and confidence, why don't we talk about the foods that actually boost your confidence, right? And, I started looking at this stuff online and it probably gets a lot deeper than what I can elaborate on, so I'll just speak to it to the way that I know it, So, quick story. So usually I would, at work, go for a 30-minute walk, and then I would stop and get something to eat, bring it back to my desk, and I would have it. And in the area that I'm in New York, they have a very large variety of restaurants and such, but they're extremely overpriced. And if you want to spend, $15 a day, $15 to $16 a day, you can get something really healthy and really good. Or if you want to spend $6 a day, you can get something that's very comforting and unhealthy. So it's one of those things that you juggle. I choose to eat on the healthier side, but I don't want to spend that much money, right? And then sometimes, even when I spend that amount of money, for that amount, it doesn't taste as good as what I would like for it to be. So I go back, I eat it, now I'm displeased, and I'm sort of irritated because I'm like, I just spent 12 to 15 bucks on this dish and it didn't taste that good, and it just leaves me feeling some sort of way. So the question is, well, take a step back. So what I decided to do was every week just do meal prep. My wife and I, we take the time, beginning of the week, we set aside 2-3 hours, and we just come up with lunch items that we both enjoy. That is, healthy carbs, a lot of greens, and a little bit of protein. And we always have fruit, right? So that leads me to the thought of foods that make you not only feel good, but make you feel happy, right? And in doing the research, when you have foods that are high in particular chemicals, right, or vitamins and such as green vegetables, it helps the brain to produce serotonin, right? And serotonin is the chemical that releases happiness, right? So, and this is something that I found quite amazing. So all the while we thought like, oh, we just love kale and Brussels sprouts and we get excited and thinking about these things. Don't judge us. It may sound boring to you, but broccoli and tangelos and, fruits and berries and all this stuff, it actually has a direct effect on how we feel and in making us feel happy and changing our mood, and it just sets the tone. Now, I know that there's a period of time every day during lunch that I can look forward to this happiness, right? Because when I have it, I can think that this is something that my wife and I made together. I know the exact portion of it. I know that, no one did anything to it because it wasn't prepared in the kitchen where something fell on the floor or it was cross-contaminated or anything. And it's exactly what I like with all the flavors and such for a fraction of the cost, right? And I only say that to speak to the fact of we should make sure that we're consuming plenty of foods that produce the best levels of serotonin, right? Fruits, vegetables, nuts, salmon, dark chocolate. And I know dark chocolate, oh my God. Yeah, dark chocolate is on the list too, So there are ways that you can enjoy certain food items in moderation that will help you feel happier and boost your confidence, So I like to know what food items you guys like to eat. What's your happy food? Why don't we do it this way? What's your comfort food? And then what is your healthy alternative? Let's put it that way. And, drop it down in the comments. And if there's something that you'd like for us to discuss next week, or if you know a subject matter expert that we can talk to on the show to elaborate a little bit more, that would be really cool too. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Spreaker, a bunch of other places that I can't remember. And as always, like, subscribe, and share. And we thank you for listening. You've been listening to Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best.